touched.
Hello and welcome to our shipbuilding tutorial.
It's a gorgeous day in the space lanes. Do you need my help?
Yes, we are doing a shipbuilding tutorial. I would need a cool looking thumbnail.
I'll get back to work.
Alright, so this video is more of like a general overview of shipbuilding, not like the let's build a ship things. And if we look at the composition of the video, this would look more like this. We also got timestamps for your viewing pleasures, as well as links in the description. Tip number 1. Register ships from the pause menu instead from the ship vendor menu, since you save lots of money. In this instance, we made 7K instead of 3K. Tip number 2. In the flight checklist, you can rename your ship.
If I could be frank for a moment, holy shit.
Tip number 3. Selecting. You can double-click a ship module and it will select all connected modules. This can be used to identify errors like the unattached modules error. Unconnected modules won't light up. If the error persists, you just move the whole selection to the side, which will leave the offending piece at the old location. You can also control-click to only select subassemblies, move them, change them, and reattach. Tip number 4. Move subassembly to the side and change the ship in an exploded view, moving back pieces you want to keep, deleting what you do not like. You can also color selections, not just pieces. Tip number 5. Blue attachment points. Highlighting these and pressing G allows you to attach directly at that location. For HAPs, this sometimes does not work since HAPs have a preferred doorway placement, which gives you a good idea of how it will connect though. Tip number 6. Sometimes it's easier to move the select item by pressing the WSD keys instead of moving the mouse. Tip number 7.
Vanguard's also got some custom ship modifications.
Choose the Vanguard particle guns. Those are ideal for your primary weapon group. If you have the reactor capacity, you can add 6 of these bad boys. You can also add them in stages. Tip number 8. When going through the engine menu, you can preview what the engine will be adding to your build, so you can choose the one with the fewest reactor points or other criteria. Tip number 9. Rome wasn't built in a day, and this isn't KSP. You can build incrementally. Something completely stupid or whatever. And as long as it's all connected, it will fly. L-shaped spacecraft. Cubes. Doesn't matter. You can just go to the different locations and attach the pieces you need one after another. And you can also use an outpost, where most of the small decor and HAPs are available all the time. Tip number 10. Visit Havershaw. Havershaw? This is the guy running point for our mate. Visit Havershaw. This is the guy running point for our mate Walter at the Stroud Eklund shipyard, and most of the cool parts are available with him. Tip number 11. Work the flight checklist. You can always reattach deleted modules from the buyback as well. They are having a plus sign in front of the price. Red are errors that need fixing. Yellow are just things to check for. Also, this message tells you that the game just duplicated some items and you are free to sell them at the next Trade Authority kiosk.
Welcome to the Navy, Captain.
We'll be covering the basics with these three class of ships. It's an A heavy fighter with EM and primarily particle weapons, a missile boat with some ballistics, and a missile boat with particle turrets. These ships use the maximum level for the parts, but you don't have to. It's just fewer of some of the weapons when you have a lower class reactor. For our Class A fighter, we went with this design. You could have also just stick with the Frontier and upgraded it, and we choose these components. For the B ship, we get 6 additional reactor, as well as an increased jump distance, and we also added, for good measure, more cargo, more everything. Jumping to C gives us just 1 additional reactor capacity, but we unlock these C parts. It's kinda questionable and probably makes a lot of sense in the early game when you're lower level, or when you go for a low mobility hauler that has turrets and is ideal for building outposts since you can carry all the stuff or dump all the sweet loot from the missions in. Which brings us to 2 ships, which gives you a head start in the early game. One being the Narwhal and the other being the Silent Runner. I didn't know about the Silent Runner, but the Narwhal also has 2 additional power compared to the Silent Runner's reactor. You would be buying those and then redesign them, but leave the engine. Not the engine, the reactor. Which brings us to skills. You have to have piloting at rank 4 to commandeer Class C ships. Targeting control is also quite essential in my opinion. So depending on where you currently are at, or whatever background you choose, it's advisable to bank some of the skill points before starting the Vanguard mission. Sarah will introduce us naturally during the main quest to this nice guy, which unlocks us not only the awesome simulator, but also the best ship parts, period. Maybe not the shields, but the Vanguard Obliterator is just OP. Technically, you don't have to bank the skill points since you could always come back to the simulator, but you could bank them and just do it in one go, leveling up both the piloting and the targeting system without any harm to you and your ship, because it's just a simulation in the simulator. Well, the game is a simulation too, but no reloads, which is nice. Yeah. So what are the other relevant skills for shipbuilding and ship using? These are the different types of weapons you can use, and this is a nice matrix to get a nice overview. Damage is plus 30% across the board. Target mode cost is basically how much of the magazine will be used during targeting. Crit chance, well, crit chance. Recharge is also pretty self-explanatory. Damage to system also goes for the targeting and is a nice multiplier. So the next 3 skills give you free shield, engine, and payload without increasing the mass of your ship. Same goes for astrodynamics, while a neutronic fusion gives you free reactor points. Free extra reactor points is really nice since you can spend them on whatever you want. You could also look at the companions, which we will be doing later. Commerce is essential since it's not only reducing your cost for shipbuilding, but also increasing your loot return value, or whatever you want to call it. While Ship Command allows you to hire companions that would increase your ship's capabilities. On Inara, you also got pages for our companions and crew. Crew skills work different from ours. Also, they do not level. They also do not stack. They also do not come equal. Tommy F. 0815 also made a great post on Reddit about crew. Taking both into account, we can build this nice table. We can also replace the rank by actual percentages and build a tier list. As you can see, Barrett gives us an additional 5% compared to lasers or ballistics. Losing Barrett also means we lose 10% compared to the other crew members, which would be Marika.
Missed the sound of my voice, huh?
Or the generic one. So if we were to just use the Vanguard Obliterators, which are particle guns, we could go for a crew of 4 and we could also add every other weapon specialist. Losing access to one or multiple constellation members, things get complicated. So here's another table. Losing multiple constellation members can only happen in New Game Plus, so this shouldn't be that big of a deal. Meaning if we stick to particle weapons and the right constellation, we only need one rank in ship command and a ship allowing for 4 crew members. To do so, both system and station capacity needs to be at least that value. Station capacity is pretty easy. For systems we could mess it up. 2 engines and a shield at 1, reactor 1 per grade, so the number of guns decide the crew count. We could use 1 gun less per 2 extra engines. Let's look at a chart. With just 2 engines, these gun counts would work. Even if we do not have to have
Good to see you again.
a huge crew count, we could still add them for roleplay reasons, like Rosie.
It's a gorgeous day in the space lanes. But I'm not comfortable enough with space travel yet to live on a star station full time. That's why my mum encouraged me to find a job like this. She said working as a ship's doctor would be great practice. Come back in one piece, alright? I'm really happy to see you. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. I'm really gonna miss you, Captain.
Spacecrafts. We've got 2 UC brands, one of which is defunct, as well as 3 brands which are from the Freestar Collective. And here's a map where you can look where to go. There are also 2 specialty type of locations for the Outlaw faction, one being at the Key and the other one being at the Red Mile. Nova Galactic. So this is New Homestead on Titan, where you can buy bigger Nova parts. I really like Nova's structural decor elements. Nova has some really good looking cockpits. It's also the only one with a unique multi-story design. Its habitation modules look really nice and are accented by light walls and dark flooring. Lots of decor and fluff. Our first spacecraft experience, the Frontier, is a Nova to the core. You can't go wrong with this defunct company and its beautiful open canopy style cockpits. These are some simple crafts from the Nova lineup. Deimos is primarily a military brand, also from the UC like Nova. It too has light walls with decor elements and dark flooring. The cockpits do not have the same great view as Nova, but aren't bad either. They make use of lots of struts, beams, and winglets, as can be seen in their structural fluff elements. Their ships are named after Greco-Roman stuff, like the Aegis, Gladius, and Hoplite. Odd that Bethesda also chose the Gladius as a name, since the next ship is named Polis. Stroud Eklund is somewhat similar to Deimos on the interior. On the exterior, it's facing lots of round elements and slick look. Most of the Varun ships are using Stroud Eklund parts heavily. Their habitation is accented with orange beams and orange hatches. Their cockpits have high crew count but poor visibility. You can choose between 3 different designs, one being an inline cockpit that could also go on the bottom, as well as 2 top-mounted ones that look really good in the back. Taiyō is probably Space Apple. Sleek looks above all. They complain that competition steals their designs. They could be compared to Crusader if you look at Star Citizen, but their habitation models are somewhat more Spartanic in places, as you can see with the crew beds and the do-it-yourself sofa. The captain's quarter is pretty posh. They only offer one cockpit with great visibility, but different cargo capacity. All of them have 2 crew stations. Hopetech, located in a company town named Hopetown, is a wild company.
The conditions are awful for the average person in Hopetown. Almost everyone there lives hand to mouth. They barely make enough to keep the lights on, let alone start a new life outside of Hopetown.
It's copying what Taiyō is doing for the interior design, and the stock ships just look crap. Thanks to the economy, it's not even cheaper. Only thing they got going is that you can cut off the snake's head during a faction mission. The cockpits are nice though, and remind me of Drake Interplanetary. This is Lon Anderson, the tech at the Red Mile. Technically not a brand, but the less reputable elements of society have some unique parts, shielded cargo and scan jammers. And this is Jazz at the key. You have to infiltrate the fleet to get access to her, either through the Vanguard, which you joined for the Obliterators anyway, or by other means. Jazz has 2 additional shielded cargo. Jazz is also the only one selling you these 2 items after you did some missions, so make sure to get them for all your ships. At your Outpost shipbuilding platform, you can purchase all the small and medium HAPs, as well as all the structural elements from all brands. So go ahead and grab the engines, the reactor and stuff, and just finish building your ship at your outpost. So what to choose? Ballistics damage the hull and have a really low range. Same goes for the lasers. It's the other way around though, they damage shields. The table for electromagnetic weapons is sadly not so ideal, so we look at this table. If you have any information why I should use anything else but these 2, leave a comment, because I really do not see the benefits over the other EM weapons. The chance is the highest, and the DPS is also quite nice. So, really. Which brings us to the next thing. I don't like lasers or ballistic really much, since particle weapons are dealing both damage types. So why use lasers and ballistics? I don't know. Moreover, the Vanguard Obliterator uses 2 power and is an A-class weapon, and it's just 1 point below the best particle gun you can get. So in total, which would be like 12 points. Turrets are also really nice, since they have a firing arc, so you only have to turn your ship tentatively in the direction of your target, and the turrets take care of the rest. Which really makes them ideal for crafts that aren't that maneuverable. On paper, the missiles outperform the particle guns, but the magazine size is quite limited, especially if you look at the C-class weapons.
That's not our problem.
So while doing this video, I questioned whether my bias against lasers and ballistics is justified, and I must say, yeah, they aren't that great, they aren't that bad either, but yeah, just have a look. I don't know, maybe I'm using them wrong. Have you built a spacecraft with lasers and ballistics which was viable? Only thing I could imagine is that if you wanted to build a boarding craft and don't want to shoot up the hull, that you would go for lasers, but bleh. Yeah, I don't like lasers. So let's check the B-class missile boat.
Come back in one piece, alright?
Yeah, now we're talking.
Are you prepared to burst? Heretic brute!
So this is what I mean when I say limited magazine capacity. And now it's slowly reloading.
You are done! You shall be judged!
You took out that jump drive.
You will be made dust!
Yes! That grab drive is out of commission.
Not gonna lie, I really like this setup and the time to kill is really nice. Let's see how ballistics changed things up.
Oops.
You are nothing more than an offering!
That grab drive's down. We've blown out their grab drive.
Target's grab drive is down. So sorry, folks. Ah!
Enemy's jump drive is offline.
The Class C missile boat underwent a slight change because I didn't found this setup to be nice looking. That's the view. You don't have a benefit of the front section, so I changed it to this. So with this design we use less engine, less shields, and have 3 turrets on this craft as well.
Aha! An offering for the great serpent!
I think you see why other shipbuilding guides recommend turrets a lot, because they just shred. This bit is going to be speed up, so if you want to watch it slower, just use the YouTube speed control thing.
Heard of that? Ha! They're not jumping out of here. Target's shields are down. Enemy's shields gone. Full engine loss on target. Future enemy propulsion systems offline. Their shield system is damaged. What is it we're planning? So we must. Enemy's jump drive is offline. Target's shield. Target attacked their grav drive.
You have met your doom.
Fried their engines.
You shall be judged. The great serpent demands blood. Are you prepared?
Enemy's grav drive disabled. Enemy engines are offline. Target's jump system down.
Weapons down. Get them back.
So the A-class fighters are essentially the same, except that one has more crew capacity due to also having EM weapons, which we do not power fully. One of the crafts is using the high-speed engines, while the other one is using something which has slightly better maneuverability. Both are really fun to fly, but you have to be more careful since you have lower shield and lower hull.
Fire everything. Light her up.
And their grav drive is fried. Nice! They just lost their grav drive.
They've overloaded our jump system.
Hey, look at that. Grav drive's back online. Target's grav
Target's
drive's
shields
down.
are down.
So sorry, folks. Ah!
Your guard ship, what are you thinking?
is fully repaired. Got their grab drive.
Face your suffering.
They're not jumping out here.
You have met your doom.
Enemy jump drive
Nice.
is
That
offline.
ruined their shields.
The great serpent demands blood.
They've lost grab jump capability.
Run. Fire everything you got.
Their grab drive's down. Enemy's shields huge around their jump drive.
You shall be judged. Are you prepared to face judgment? Hull is intact.
They're dead in space.
Face your suffering. With the man's blood. I don't
Enemy. Tagged their grab drive. Tagged their grab drive. Enemy engines are offline.
heretic brute.
Target held. Target's jumping back down.
You shall be judged.
Knock down their shields.
You have met your doom.
Their grab drive's down. Full engine loss on target. Full engine loss on target. Full engine loss on target. Enemy's engines are offline. Full engine loss on target.
You are not chosen.
I really like this craft. It's punching above its weight class. Leave my judgment in the shrouding down below. Being more serious, I really love to hear from you guys what you liked about this video and what you did not like about this video. So, comment section. And don't forget to check the links in the description. Thanks for watching, guys.